Hi everyone, Evan here at the Chronicle for Wednesday, June 24th, 2020, where the future starts today. Whew. Got a few things to cover. First, I'm gonna get into this whole business. The CMHC is now saying Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa are gonna recover faster than everybody else. This report comes out the same day where Ontario saw massive population outflows in April. But anyways, this report, it isn't the CMHC saying this, it's the federal government saying this. Allow me to explain. In fact, without explaining, here's a good example of the headlines we saw a couple of nights ago in the US in regards to the trade deal. Peter Navarro comes out, says the trade deal is dead. And then someone else from the government, when the futures started going down, comes out a few hours later and says, the China trade deal is going well, we look forward to growing it. Paraphrasing something along those lines. Okay? The US has the stock market, Canada has the housing market. They're going to do whatever they can to try and keep both markets propped up. And of course, we had the report from a couple of weeks ago where the CMHC came out and said that on average, home prices are going to fall between 9 to 18%. Obviously, they can't have that, hence this report now, okay? That's all it was. All the government is doing here, like the US with the stock market, is trying to keep the housing market up. That's really all you gotta know on that. And now to our next story. This one's out of Forbes, and you're absolutely gonna love this one. We're seeing wage deflation, white-collar layoffs, and pay cuts. Guy Berger, PhD, the principal economist at LinkedIn, prepared the LinkedIn hiring rate, which offers a snapshot of the job market. Berger indicates that we haven't seen a meaningful pickup in new U.S. job starts. He reports that hiring is still down more than 30% from last year. Many of the job gains are due to workers returning to their previous employers rather than people starting newly created jobs. COVID restrictions taken off, people going back to their old jobs. The Economist contends it will take a long time before the labor market returns to pre-COVID levels. Who's been saying that for the last 3 months? Anyways, according to Jed Kolko, chief economist at the Indeed Hiring Lab, that's Indeed.com, Indeed.ca, where you apply for all your jobs, his study concluded that the current trend in job postings was 34% lower than in 2019. This was an improvement compared to when new listings turned down about 45% from the same time last year. And who's been saying to watch unemployment like a hawk for the longest time on here? White-collar roles, such as software development postings, are 36.3% below last year's trend. Banking and financing job postings are down 51.3%. Now, if you followed me for long enough, you'll know that I stated back in the middle of March that 30% of the jobs lost pre-COVID wouldn't come back. And then afterwards, I upped that forecast right up to 35 or 40%. So if you see this article, which by the way I'll link in the description, you really shouldn't be shocked here. I've been calling for it for months. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that.
And now for your craps and giggles part of the video.
This headline was from CNBC a couple of days ago. Existing home sales plunge in May, but realtors think that was the bottom. Well into the month of June, people are more relaxed, there's stimulus. Here's an economist for the realtors saying he's very confident this is the low point, buyers and listings coming back. Now the US is a bit of a tricky story. It's a lot more regional than national. However, if I was in one of the markets that isn't doing very well right now, this is probably the last thing I want to hear. But anyways, and the last story of the day I'm going to cover, this is from Better Dwelling 2 days ago. Major Canadian real estate markets that reopened saw inventory explode. I'll include a couple of highlights from the article up on screen here for you. Why do I mention this? Ontario was locked down from the middle of March until about 10 days ago, when certain areas started to open back up. And lastly, what two big areas reopened today? Toronto and Mississauga. And the last chart I'm going to overlay on screen here for you is from our good friend Scott Ingram. This shows Toronto active listings. Toronto condos, aka what's becoming the highest rated Canadian comedy show. Active listings there are already higher year over year. Why? What's now former Airbnbs being sold, international students not coming over next year without that cash flow they're being sold, net immigration outflows, etc., etc. Now, freeholds have lag behind. A lot of that, I think, is a lot of people believing the myth that there's going to be a V-shaped recovery, hence they're holding off from selling. And partly as well, even with this whole phenomenon of 3D virtual showings, buyers have a stigma about stepping into other people's homes. Now that we've reopened, I expect listings there to pop up very soon if they haven't already also. Best place to go ahead and leave it. Smash the like, leave a comment, subscribe, follow both my accounts on Twitter. And as always, my name is Evan. This is the McChronicle, where that future starts today.